Right, he's gone from skins to armour. Sorry about that, I didn't write it. And now he's trying to head back north with Arya. Joe Dempsie, Gendry, hello.
Hi.
How is it being indoors?
It's a real revelation for me.
To be warm, not in the elements.
Yeah, I've been waiting for basically 3 years for a roof of any description. It's bizarre.
And here you are, even hours is adequate. That's how low you've sunk.
Yeah, easily pleased.
Is there a hierarchy at all? Like, in my mind, the people who have it the toughest are out in the wilds in Iceland, and the people who have it the easiest are in Croatia, and you're somewhere in between. Is that how it is?
You could argue that, but then again, the guys in Iceland, they film for like 3 hours a day, and then they go and get drunk.
Right.
Because there's no daylight. So, you know, they're cold for a bit, then they're in. So I think they're making it sound harder than it is.
And you've spent a lot of time on horseback this series.
A bit of time.
How's your bum?
It's rock hard.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Were you a horseman already? Is it something you'd done much of?
No, I hadn't at all. I'd never ridden a horse before we had the first kind of riding lessons at the stables this year. And it's great. I mean, the skill set I'm hopefully going to come out and like leave this job with it's going to be incredible.
And honing your skills as a blacksmith, of course, you could do that if the acting never dries up.
Yeah, but I mean, you say that, but if you watch very closely, you'll realise that whenever I'm supposed to be doing any smithing, I'm either just finishing or I get interrupted.
Let's talk about Gendry, the character. How much does he know, do you think, about his lineage? Does he know about the blood in his veins?
I certainly don't think he has an idea of quite the nobility of his blood. I think he knows there's something up. He's had enough time to dwell on that, I think, now. But I don't think he knows where to start. I think he has so little to go on. He has so little information that I don't think he knows what question to ask and who to ask it of.
For a while, you've spent a lot of time with Arya and Hot Pie. Are you a little gang in real life? Are they your best Game of Thrones fans? Or do you despise each other in real life?
Yeah, we can't stand each other. We are a nice little crew, actually. It keeps me on my toes working with the two of them because they can get quite excitable on set, particularly Ben. So I suppose it keeps you young. He does Family Guy quotes and impersonations for the majority of the day. Get Ben on and get him to he'll probably act out an entire episode. Whatever your favourite episode of Family Guy is, he'll know every line. Wow. And what's Paul Kay like? Because people of a certain age will know him as Dennis Pennis. Yeah. So I'm curious to know, is he playing practical jokes on set? I was really looking forward to meeting him. And the really nice thing about it was that the first day or so, he was kind of subdued and kind of quiet. And I'd sort of went over and spoke to him and said, how are you doing? Enjoying it? And he was like, yeah, I don't know, I just think that at any minute now, you know, halfway through a take, the director's just going to go, cut, right, we've made a huge mistake here, sorry. And everyone, I think, has that on Game of Thrones. You're confronted by this show that's on a huge scale and a bigger scale than most of the actors in it have ever worked on before, and you're just convinced that someone's going to tap you on the shoulder and tell you to sling your hook. What
do you remember about your first day? Who was the first cast member you happened across?
Sean Bean.
Was that intimidating?
Yeah. Yeah, it was, and he was quite quiet as well. And I think I'd sort of heard that anyway. People had said, you know, Sean, if you talk to him, he's lovely, but he's actually, you know, he's quite a quiet man. And it was hot out in Malta. That's when we still filmed in Malta, and he had all the gear on and stuff. But he was a lovely man and great to work with. That's the other good thing about Game of Thrones is getting to watch all these people that you've admired over the years and just observe them.
Yeah. From talking to different people, some of the actors treat it like a job. They get the scripts, they don't immerse themselves into that world, and then other people go mad on the books and the conventions and meeting the fans. Where are you on that scale?
I'd say I'm somewhere in between. I think I've read the first 2 books. I know that's not a great effort, but...
No, but also I think in your position, maybe you want to find out what's happening to Gendry when you get your scripts.
Yeah, well, I think that's the other thing is that with Gendry's storyline, David and Dan haven't been afraid to, you know, veer slightly off course. So there's only a certain extent to which reading the books would actually be beneficial to me, and it is really nice. It sounds like a cop-out, but it is really nice getting the script through and not knowing what to expect and sort of. I remember when we did the read-throughs last summer. At the end of every episode, there was this audible, gasp around the room. Every episode is sort of really kind of on the money at the end.
Have you seen much fan art or fiction about yourself on the internet?
Do you know what? I got sent a text message by a friend of mine the other day saying, read this, and it was a bit of fan fiction. It was about imagining if Kit Harington was your boyfriend. And he described it as he looks at me with his chocolate cow eyes.
Like the
I don't think
milker
it gets
cow.
much better than that. Yeah. And now whenever I see Kit, that's all I can imagine is chocolate cow eyes.
And how much of your time does Game of Thrones take up?
I'd say 3 months, but that's not a solid kind of block of work. It's, it might be a couple of weeks on, week off.
So what are you going to do with the rest of the time? Are you going to sit around on your bum? Are you going to do some other work? What's your plan?
I've just got back from Jordan, playing an American soldier, hence the haircut.
Oh yeah, you've got a look of a squaddy about, you point it out, yeah.
Yeah, and that's real.
Oh yeah, a battle wound.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I've had a good few days to conjure up a more impressive story than this, but the reality is that I hit myself in the face with my own night vision goggles on set.
Joe, is Maisie, who plays Arya, knocking you about?